Jason McCoy joins us. He is on his way to Kipawa Countryfest, August 15th to 17th, with the Great Canadian Road Trip on stage on the Friday night, along with Michelle Wright and Doc Walker. And we'll talk about that in just a moment, Jason. First up, you and I have something in common which you're not aware of. Well,
Uh-oh. Is this good or bad?
I think it's good. I think it's good. I'll
Okay.
tell you what it is here in a few minutes. But first,
Okay. You got me nervous. Now I don't know. Okay.
according to your Wikipedia, you started playing guitar at age 7. Is that right?
Probably about that. I didn't get really serious till I was about 12, 13. But yeah, that's probably about right.
Well, and you wrote your first song when you were 12.
Yeah, that's about when I started working on the writing. Yeah, nothing, wasn't any Grammy nominated stuff, but it rhymed.
So, whenever I've had the chance to interview artists, I often ask them the question, do you remember the very first song you wrote, and can you sing or recite a line of it?
Oh, I don't know if I remember to sing it, but it was called "The Greatest Times of All," which became the title track of the first album I did when I was 16. But um, and at that age, you're not writing about life experience. You're writing about what you think life experience would be. It's not
Yeah.
real. It was just kind of what I thought country songs were to be.
Well, you and I met in 2003. You were in North
Okay.
Bay. I know you played in
All
North
right.
Bay a few times, but you were here at the Heritage Festival. You were opening up for Dina Carter that night.
Wow. Yeah. That's going back a little ways,
It is going back a ways. So I was going to ask you, other than the beard, because you didn't have the beard back then,
right?
what's been the biggest change in Jason from 2003 to 2025?
Oh my gosh, the biggest change from 20, I don't know. A lot of aches and pains, a lot of miles. Obviously, the Road and Hammers just celebrating 20 years this year of that. So that's been quite a ride gone around the world with that. I think I think a little more, I was going to say a little more relaxed, but I don't know about that. I think focus has changed from wanting to be a famous country singer to wanting to do a good job of whatever I'm doing. And I guess being a husband and father is probably eclipsed all of that.
You have been doing this a long time, and I mean, you're somebody that up and coming artists look up to. But what haven't you done that you still say, you know what, that's one of those things that before I hang this all up, I want to make sure I do that or perform with that person or what?
Well, we started a record company called Sky Song Records, and we've got a new Roadhammer song coming out August 28th. So that is definitely a different part of the business. That's something that well, it just kind of happened. But that's the kind of thing. I don't know. I guess as a songwriter, you're always looking for that elusive song that's going to change the world, and you're only as good as your last single, so you're always looking for the next great thing. So I don't think that's ever going to change, and I don't think I travel with Doc and Michelle, and I think we're all on the same page. You're always we've been doing this a long time. We've all had, hits. I mean, Michelle and I are both in the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame. And, I guess a lot of people would say, you can retire. You don't, because this is something you do. It's not a destination, right? So it's something you do anyway. And you don't just stop. You keep doing it.
So if someone had told 12-year-old Jason, someday you're going to be in the Hall of Fame, what would you have said?
Oh, I wouldn't have believed it. So I have a little guitar that I learned my first little bits of chords on, and my dad gave it to me when I was probably 9 or 10, and now it's hanging in the Hall of Fame. So I mean, those kind of things, just don't seem real. I mean, even though I've been there and I've seen it, it's just it's surreal. I don't know what else what the other words are, but that's it doesn't seem real to me.
And how did the idea to start your own record label come together?
Well, you know what? It was really just a collaboration between fellow hammer Clayton Bellamy and Dan Davidson and myself, just saying, "Hey, we got these records, and the climate has really changed as far as record labels, record companies go." We partnered with a fellow named Craig Senek out of Calgary, and he's a big supporter of Canadian country. And so we wanted to use what we're going to be our upcoming releases as a springboard to help, discover, cultivate, and elevate new talent. Not just here in Canada, but around the world. So we have global distribution with The Orchard, with ABC in Australia as well. And so we've really got a great conduit to the industries where we can find those new artists and maybe help them avoid some of the pitfalls that maybe we ran into on our journey.
And maybe that's when I asked you, how have you changed over the years? Maybe that's what it is that you have a much better, intel into the business side of things than when you first started out, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think in any business, the more time you spend, the more you learn. And hopefully, and if you don't pass those lessons along, then they're kind of wasted lessons, right? You got to do that.
There's so much focus on things like AI now. And AI can either amaze you with how well it can do, or
Yeah.
it could be completely off the mark. So I went on AI and I said, I'm going to be interviewing Jason McCoy.
Oh.
What's one interesting, relatively unknown thing you can tell me about Jason McCoy?
Hmm.
This is what it said. It said, this is AI. Did you know that Jason earned his pilot's license at age 17? Is that true?
Yeah, I did. As youngest licensed pilot in Canada at that time, and it's interesting we're talking now because my dad used to take us to Oshkosh to the big air show in Wisconsin, and so we've driven down a few times. We flew in a few times. My dad had his own plane. My sister actually just retired from Air Canada, and that was what I was going to do. I was going to be a pilot. But my son, he's been taking lessons. He's got close to 20 hours now. And we're actually just pulled over at a gas station here. We're on one of a very, very few family vacations we take, and we're off to the air show. So we're going to be pulling in today, and we've got a couple more hours to drive, but we're gonna make it for the first air show of the week for us.
The other thing AI said was, Jason says if he had followed that path to be a pilot, he would have been such an annoying pilot because he would have turned the cockpit into his own stage with endless dad jokes.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So AI nailed
I
it. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. AI knows me better than I do. Yes.
So Kipawa, Great Canadian Road Trip, August 15th to 17th. Michelle Wright, Doc Walker, yourself. I know that the road trip has come through North Bay in the past. It's toured, but for somebody who's never seen that show, what's the format to the show?
Well, we're all on stage at the same time, so that's probably the coolest part about it. So we have one band, and it's not like one comes out and headlines for the other. We have the same bass player, drummer, guitar player. We're all on stage at the same time. Michelle sings the first song. She's the queen of country, so she kicks it off with guitar talk, and then we just go round robin. We just, Michelle song, Doc song, I do a song. We just keep going around like that, and it's hit after hit. It's all about.
Nice. It's
like, hey, we got Beautiful Life from Doc Walker. We got Born Again in Dixieland for Jason McCoy. You got Take It Like a Man from Michelle. He would be 16. I'm Gonna Make You Love Me from Doc. I do Road Hammers songs. We do Mud. We do East, Bound and Down. Whatever the crowd wants to hear. But the bottom line is it's hit after hit, and it's literally the best show out there. It's so much fun. Every time we're done on stage, we're just like, that went by way too fast. And if you're in the crowd, I mean, every word to every song, and it's a treat for myself, treat for the guys from Doc. Like, we each say this, like, we're sitting here watching people we really look up to sing these songs that we all know by heart. They're all in our collective Canadian DNA, so it's a big treat for all of us.
Very cool. And then you've got Dallas Smith and High Valley who are also part of that weekend. So it's going to be a
Yeah.
big weekend in Kipawa.
And High Valley, Brad Rimple, just big hats off to him. He just co-wrote Josh Ross's first #1 in the U.S. single again. So
Yeah.
a lot of people may not know this, but Brad very active on the writing side of things and behind the scenes. So Canadian talent's never been stronger, and we stick our chest out when we say the Great Canadian Road Trip. Elbows up, and it's 100% Canadian content. We're very proud of that.
Yeah, which is even more relevant now with everything our
Yeah.
world is going through. So I
Sure.
mentioned to you off the top that you and I have something in common. We have likely stood in the same spot, maybe sat in the same chair. My first job was at Kix 106 in Aurelia.
Wow. Holy smoke. So, and now if people don't know, I do mornings on Pure Country 106, same station.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5:30 to 10 each morning. It's amazing. I mean, it's a different side of the microphone for me, a different side of the industry, but it's probably one of the most rewarding because you get to celebrate things like Canadian milestones. Josh Ross, #1 in the U.S. You get to play the new James Barker single. You get to talk about Jade Eagleson playing at the Iowa State Fair. All these things that as Canadian music fans, I guess you'd say, really make our hearts swell with Canadian pride. You get to talk about these things and you get to celebrate that music on air. It's never been stronger, and it's never been a better time to be part of the industry.
Did Jack Latimer hire you?
In a way, Jack Latimer, it was Paul Larsh, actually. So
Okay.
my wife is a nurse. She was working, and somebody came in with a rattlesnake bite, and it was Paul. And it was funny because I was thinking I'd love to get into radio at some point, but I thought, oh, Jack's never going to retire. But Paul did say to Treen, he said, would Jason ever consider doing radio? Because Jack's considering retiring. And I said yes, and it's just been absolutely an amazing ride ever since.
Yeah, there you go. We even had the same first bosses. So there you
There,
go.
and he's the best. Jack is literally he sets the standard on and off the mic.
And Paul will talk your ear off about all the times he used to know Shania Twain back in the day.
Well, and all those stories are true. And Paul's got a brand new book out called The Divided Brain, I believe it's called, his first book. And so he's quite a creative guy himself.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thanks for doing this. Enjoy the vacation and get back to work because we can't wait to see you in Kipawa.
Thank you so much for taking the time, and we'll see you then. Can't wait to see Doc and Michelle, and Great Canadian Road Trip is coming to Kipawa. It's going to be amazing.